All right, I actually am going to start a new segment on my channel because my channel is so popular and everyone watches it. It's going to be music news. That's it. My first segment is going to be about Taylor Swift and the halftime show. And of course, if anyone has any opinions, they can put it down in the comment section. And this is old news. It's been out for about 3 days. Let me just pull this up right here. This is from Yahoo News. Yahoo has actually Yahoo still has pretty good, interesting news. My goodness, there's a bug flying around my face. And it's about how Roger Goodell was flirting with the idea of asking Taylor Swift to go to the halftime show and perform, right, for Super Bowl 60. Taylor Swift, she's only 35. You think about what she's done for someone her age. Swift won't be performing per report. According to a report by Rob Shooter's Substack, Swift had interest in performing the Super Bowl 60 halftime show, though she had one major demand. For the National Football League, Swift wanted to retain the ownership of her performance and secure slots promoting her own project or her own projects. The NFL flatly refused. The league, which has arguably the biggest platform in the world, need didn't need to give Swift or to give in to Swift's demands. Swift, meanwhile, didn't need to take the league up on their offer either. It's a situation where neither party really needs the other one. Now, neither party really needs the other one because they're both grotesquely rich. They're both super rich. And of course, when you have rich powers, whether it's countries or corporations, whatever, whenever you have two rich powers butting heads, it's usually the people who make them rich. In this case, the viewers and the listeners and the fans, it's usually those people who end up suffering. They expect the biggest artists in the world to do it for exposure, a source said to Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift she doesn't need exposure. Let's just stop and analyze what's happening here. So Taylor Swift says, I'm not doing this. I don't need exposure. I want to be able to keep the rights to my show, and I want to have some slots where I can actually advertise some of my projects. Taylor Swift at 35 is worth approximately $1.6 billion. And good for her, she's worked hard, right? Roger Goodell, his net worth isn't known, but for a couple of years when he was commissioner, he was making, well, he still is commissioner, but for a couple of years, so 2020 and the 2021 seasons, he was making $64 million a year, more than the highest paid person in the NFL. Who is the highest paid NFL player? Dak Prescott with an average annual salary of 60 million. Wow. And he's not worth 60 million. I don't know what the heck they were thinking there. Dak Prescott is absolutely not worth 60 million. But whatever. Roger Goodell was making more than that per year for the 2019-2020 season. And he's still commissioner. So since 2006. So imagine making 60 million a year since 2006. So that's almost 20 years. So here we have an interesting case of the rich people are fighting, and it just affects the people who made them rich, which interestingly is us. Do I care? I mean, I guess I'm making this video, but I heard that Bad Bunny is going to do I guess he's being considered, or maybe it's now solidified. Why some see Bad Bunny as a controversial choice for the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show. Bad Bunny was unveiled as the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show earlier this week, sparking a mix of excitement and displeasure from different segments of the American public. While many of the Puerto Rican rapper's fans were ecstatic to learn that he'd be headlining the event, which takes place in Levi Bachata, negative reactions to the selection of Bad Bunny as the Super Bowl has two key factors. He raps and sings in Spanish. Well, who cares? And that he's an advocate of immigrants amid the ongoing deportation of ICE raids in the United States. Oh, so I think they're looking at it as a political move. Yeah, I don't know. The fact that he raps and sings, to be honest with you, I've watched a couple videos of him and I actually really like what he does. It's pretty interesting, quite honestly. But the fact that it was in Spanish didn't necessarily bother me, but I can understand some Spanish, so maybe that's why. I don't mind that fact. The fact that he supports immigrants, well, he's from Puerto Rico, so he's from an island that is part of the United States, but still isn't necessarily viewed with the same respect as the rest of the United States by many people. I guess I can see why there would be some type of controversy, but here's something interesting. Someone can walk down the middle of the street and give a homeless person a sandwich and there's going to be much controversy over that. Every single person is going to have their opinion. And in the days of the internet, like I'm doing here, everyone feels like their voice matters. Everyone feels like they can give their opinion. And interestingly enough, opinions abound. Opinions are thrown all over the place and they tend to pile up and become a little heavy and overwhelming. And all of a sudden, a worldview or an opinion becomes a gigantic deal because well the internet makes it so that we can make it a big deal. Anyways, that's the news about Taylor Swift that I find to be super interesting. She was asked to do the halftime show and then she had demands and those demands were shut down immediately by the NFL and there's just too much money. The NFL has too much money, Taylor Swift has too much money, and they each felt entitled and it just fizzled out. So I don't know. That is it for the this first episode of Artie Yaster Music News. I'll have to think of some type of maybe I can call it NEWSIC. NEWSIC. Artie Yaster. Music for the masses. I don't know. But anyways, that is it. Music news. I'm really beginning to like music.